Hey guys, how you doing? This is jpsarrireviews coming to you once again, now with another unboxing. I haven't done an unboxing in quite some time, but this is for the PlayStation Classic, the PlayStation Mini. And I know, you know, probably there's a million videos out there with the unboxings, but I just went to Best Buy because they had a great deal this week. I bought this for $20. $20, that's all I paid for. And I'm amazed by the deal. And they have, I think this week they have the deal at Best Buy, and they get, you know, when I went there, they have plenty of them, but also they have it on Amazon. $20, it's cheaper than anywhere else. I was so amazed because this comes with 20 games. So technically you're paying $1 per game and you get in pretty much the hardware for free. It really looks like the classic original boxes that came out. It's kind of like a reminiscence of it. It doesn't mean necessarily that it's 100% accurate, but it says USB AC adapter not included. See back for details, which is a big bummer. I don't know why they didn't include that, because the NES Classic and the SNES Classic they came with is one of them. I think one of the biggest issues with this is the fact of the rating. Yeah, some of the games are mature, but the fact that it says M, I think that dissuade a lot of parents to purchase this. You know, this is something that dissuade a lot of parents not to purchase it on last Christmas, which is a bummer. Because, you know, they should have just probably go with the teen, maybe just get rid of some of those extra games that actually shouldn't be there, and just that way I probably would sell better with parents. Now here on the side you got the Sony logo, of course the picture of the device, very small. Are you ready to play? And of course some pictures, 20 incredible games that define an era and a PlayStation Classic, and the barcode right there. On the other side, of course, you got the Sony logo, you got pictures of the different components of this whole device. And of course, here's the list of that, the classic PlayStation logo, PlayStation name, and of course, PlayStation Classic and all of that. The bottom of the box follows the same art style. So you have PlayStation right there, PlayStation Classic, the logo, barcode, Sony, all, you know, basic stuff, HDMI. The back of the box, of course, is the most important aspect of it, which is the games. You know, that's the reason why you buy them in the first place. You got 20 classic games preloaded. You got pictures of each game. Some I remember fondly, some I didn't care much about. A little disappointed, like many, that some other games were not included. I'd assume they're more classic than some of the games here. But I don't worry, because I know that I'm going to hack this, and I'm going to add those ROMs and those BIOS. So there's many ways to do it. There's plenty of videos on YouTube where you can do it and how to do it. The disappointing part of this, just as it is that a lot of these games for us in North America is that they came with the PAL region version, so they're sluggish. They're very slow in comparison to the NTSC version, the North American version. But the good thing, the good news is that you can actually change it. You can go inside the system and you can change it, and I will do that too. All right, we just opened the box. Very simple procedure. Let me take the box out. There's not much going on there. This is just the cover, like a lot of PlayStation stuff. They do that. And here you go. You have the PlayStation logo. Very neat. And see what's going on inside. See, that's another box. Right, put the boxes aside. Here you go. You got the manual, the classic manual of the PlayStation. You know, the PlayStation stuff always come with that kind of stuff, so we put that aside. And now we find, oh, right there, it's on the other side. I didn't have that. So you got the system. Very cool. Very cool that we have the system right there. Put it for the camera. Let me just open this. All right, and we'll take the little console out. As you can see, comes protected with a bag. It weight's fine. I like the weight. It looks like the original thing, that's for sure. So we're gonna put that aside. We'll open it in just a moment. And then let's just open this box. Then you have to do this thing here. And then remove that. You just move it aside, and here's the other components. You have, first, let's just get this. You get the mini USB, or the mini USB to USB cable. We're gonna need that. And of course we have a HDMI cable. We're gonna plug this to our television. And of course you got the 2 controllers. Very cool. They look like the real thing. 2 controllers, I like that. At least you get 2 controllers. Right, and here you have the manuals. You have actually an English version and you have a French version. I don't know why probably didn't add a Spanish version, which is normally, that's what they normally do. But it is just basic. It just letting you know, the basics of the system, how to connect it, which is pretty, self-explanatory. I'm sure by now anybody can do it, even a caveman can do it, but they're supposed to give you this kind of stuff. So this is just paperwork that probably just end up in a drawer somewhere. We don't care much about that, but this is what we care about. And I'm telling you, man, it looks very neat. It looks like the original, just the colors, the gray color. It looks very reminiscent, as you can see right there. I love the logo, the Sony logo and the PlayStation logo. Very cool. Now you have the buttons here, they work. You can feel the click, even the reset button right there. This doesn't open up, it's just for design. But even looking at this, when you look at the ports, they look very neat. Number 1, number 2, you connect them right there. I like the attention to detail on that aspect. And of course you can see on the side, you see the vents, which were part of the original design. And as you can see right there, there's Sony, the little thing, the rubber things, all is pretty cool. Now looking at the back of this, you can see the HDMI, in this case, connection. You kind of look like the back of it. Here's you plug in the mini USB. Even this here little thing where you have you can add the extra memory to it, but it's there. But of course it's just design. It's nothing, it doesn't open up at all, but it's pretty cool. And now this is just for that, but look at the controllers. The controllers, they really look like the real thing. I remember playing a lot of this. I was already older. I was probably around 18 when this came out. And I used to go to a friend's house. He owned one of these. We play, everything, Crash Bandicoot. We play a lot of kind of things together. Definitely had great memories playing a lot of these games. It looks like that. It's Sony. Of course, no DualShock or anything, but it just is great, and I really like the design. And even this, it really looks like the original thing. Let's just plug it in and test it out and see how it performs. Well, that's a classic sound. Pretty cool. Then the first thing that pops up is the language. You have German, English, Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese. You have different variations of it as well. So we choose the United States English. And when we press OK, then it goes into the console button guide, tells you what to do with the reset button, the power button, and the open button actually changes the virtual disk during gameplay. Then you get this warning. And then it goes into the interface. The interface is pretty normal, basic. A lot of people complain about it, but it's just like the old school thing. And I don't have a problem with it. Now in the settings, you can change the screensaver language. You can see the health and safety, screensaver, language, power save settings, restore default settings, initiate console, legal notice. And let's just go back. Then you go to guide, see the product website. The product website, go in, just the barcode, then you go to console, the same thing we saw initially. Let's get out. Then we go to the memory card where you can actually save and delete your saves. Let's go back and then resume point. We don't have that because we haven't saved nothing yet, but it's pretty self-explanatory. And you press the triangle on the controller, it do the same thing. The same guide was very basic. Going through the games, we have Battle Arena to Shinden, we have Cool Boarders 2, we have Destruction Derby, we have Final Fantasy 7, we have Grand Theft Auto, we have IQ, we have Jumping Flash, which I never played, Metal Gear Solid, we have Mr. Driller, we have Oddworld Apes Odyssey, which is fun, we have Rayman, which is a classic, I have memories with that one, Resident Evil, Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, we also have Ridge Racer Type 4, very fun game, we have Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, we have Siphon filter. I didn't play this one. We have Tekken 3. We have the original Rainbow Six. We have Twisted Metal. And for those that love RPGs, we have Wild Arms. So now let's just try some of these games and see how they do. Well, that's a classic sound. The only bad thing here is, of course, as you can see, this is the PAL version. So the game is a bit sluggish. I didn't know much about this game back in the day. I heard about it, but I never really played until years later. I want to say I'm a big fan of it. There is some, popularity because, of course, it's one of those games that never really made it to the West. Or it was not as popular in the West. It is okay, playing here. It is a bit sluggish, slow, particularly being the PAL region kind, and it's very sluggish. Definitely looking forward to really up the speed on this, but it is okay. It is fun that it was added. I just, in my mind, it kind of boggles me a bit that they added this when there's other games that they could simply add it to this. I think they concentrated primarily on the 3D versions of games rather than a lot of it, because there were a lot of great 2D fighters. I don't know why they couldn't add some Capcom stuff, Street Fighter, or even you have Darkstalker stuff. There were plenty games and that lineup, a lot of fighters that they could have added, even Guilty Gear. It just they didn't win for that. But definitely it's cool. It's again, it's just a one thing that is added to this, and I will definitely add more fighting games to this roster. Well, I can tell you about Cool Borders, and didn't really play it, I would say. I think I played the first one, not the second one. It's cool. I think they needed to add some sports games, and definitely I think this was the ticket. It just, again, this is the PAL region kind, and it's also sluggish, and definitely doesn't look as great. Many of these games are in 3D, so definitely I think now after so many years, they haven't aged so well. It is kind of cool. I just feel that there were other games that they could have added to this list, and other sports games that they were much interesting or more iconic to this roster. Some other type of games. I don't know, but this is cool. I'm not denying it. I think it adds value to it, and definitely for $1, what can I say? It's a great deal. Mr. Driller is pretty fun, and definitely I'm glad that they added this one. I was not really expecting this one to be added, but I think it's one of the best in this collection, and it has aged well. Still, I love all these puzzle games. I'm not, I would say, the best at this one particularly, but it is fun, and I like the colors, and the music is fine. It is great. I think it's very entertaining. So I don't know. This I think this is the best part in this system, in this classic system, is that actually the puzzle games are actually the best of all the lineup they have. I think they are great, and not only this one, but also Super Turbo. That one also is pretty good. Another cool game in this lineup, we have Rayman. I really like Rayman. I had a lot of great memories playing that game. Definitely they did a fantastic job with this one. It also has the North American version, so it is running pretty decently. It doesn't lag as much. There's a little bit of lag, if you notice, a little bit of it. It has to do perhaps maybe with the TV rather than the system, but it looks cool. I think the colors look great. It has that platform thing. It's very charming. I love the Rayman series. I love the newer Rayman games, but definitely if you want to go back to the original Rayman, I think this is the one. This is the ticket, and definitely it's a very fun one. If there is a genre that I love in gaming, perhaps more than other genres, or perhaps more than many other, it's racing. I love racers, and that goes all the way back to the arcades. I used to love the arcades, and racing was a big part of it. And one of them that I really like from the PlayStation era that I remember a lot is Ridge Racer Type 4. I really played that game a lot. Although I did play Gran Turismo a lot more than Ridge Racer, which it kind of is baffling that they didn't add Gran Turismo to the lineup. But Ridge Racer is definitely up there as well. But definitely it's just interesting that they didn't add Gran Turismo, which in my opinion would have been a lot lot easier because this is definitely a staple of the in this case Sony. But in any case, Ridge Racer feels good and actually runs pretty well. It's very slick. I have fun with this. I think it's still a great racer and definitely feels good. I think that was not a bad choice after all, and I'm really happy that it was added to the roster. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo is definitely another game that I have great memories. It's one of my favorite games on the PlayStation. I play it a lot, and I still play it on the PS3, the newer version, and even on the Xbox 360, but I still have even the PlayStation version. But I'm happy that they added this to this list. It's a very addictive game, and you can be playing there for hours, and it looks great. Actually, it really plays well here. It has the NTC version, so it's pretty slick, it's fast, it's fluid, just as you remember, and it's very fun. Definitely, I'm happy that they added this. I'm still, you know, I don't know, surprised that they didn't add it any of the Street Fighter Alpha or Zero as known in Japan, but in other many Street Fighters they could add it, but they didn't. But you know, there's no reason to cry about it because we're still gonna add it, you know, via ROMs. But definitely this is a great game and definitely one that definitely is worth just that $1. Now, Tekken is a legend of the, I would say, of the PlayStation era. And they add, of course, we have Tekken 3. And I had a lot of fun with this. This is the PAL region version. And a lot of people were complaining about being sluggish, and it's just a bit sluggish. But it's not that bad. Actually, I was playing it, and it still feels good, you know, which tells me the NTCS version is very fast and fluid, but it's not bad at all. It feels well. I'm still going to adjust it, but definitely I really didn't have a problem with it just playing as it is, just out of the box. I think, you know, I would say people would not notice. Of course, you know, nowadays Tekken has improved so much and it's super fast, but this is definitely, walk on memory lane. Definitely, it's something that is, I like the idea, and it's really fun. I had a lot of fun playing with it. Definitely, this another plus. There's a lot of games I would say in this roster that they are great games. You know, they're not bad games. All these games are not bad. You know, the PlayStation had so many great games. So many are classics, but some have an H as well. It is definitely surprising that many were not added. A lot of people are asking, we were expecting, Crash Bandicoot to be here, Spyro. There were so many other games that could simply be added, that there were legends and classics, but they added a lot of games that it feels a little bit more like shovelware. But ultimately, the good thing is that, we can use homebrew now, and we can add all those games, and definitely that will add more value to this. But definitely this as it is, just for the the $20 that I paid, is definitely a fantastic deal. Who doesn't love a good deal? And I certainly do. I love great deals, and this is one of the greatest deals in gaming right now. Again, you're only paying $1 per game, and technically you're getting all the hardware for free, and you can have hours of fun playing these games. You can hack, and you can add so much value to it, and make it pretty much the #1 PlayStation emulator out there. And definitely it has that potential. So I would recommend it to you. I have the link for you down below if you want to go through Amazon. That's the only place where you can go to Best Buy. If there's no local Best Buy where you're at, you can just order it through Amazon. And now with all the deals that they have going on, you might just don't even pay for the shipping, which is even a greater deal. So, consider that. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to play with this. I'm going to change it. I'm going to adjust it. And in the future, I'll have a video where I'll show you everything that I have done with it. So once again, thanks for watching. God bless. And I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.